It's LaRhonda Marie. He chose me. What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to Under Construction, LaRhonda Marie. I am LaRhonda Marie. Oh, it looks like my signal is doing something today, but we're going to push forward. The devil is a lie. We're going to push forward. I'm excited about this conversation because I feel like it's a conversation that's needed, that's necessary. We're going to be talking about credit. We're going to be talking about your money. We're going to be talking about handling your business. And when I thought of those things, y'all know me, I'm all about the Holy Spirit. He'll give me a name. He'll give me a face. And then I'll try to reach out. And you know what? I was surprised. This brother was very, very happy to do this. So I'm excited. I am so excited because he's so busy. And he could be anywhere else. But he decided to drop by and give us some nuggets. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. But before I bring him along, I do want to tell you guys again, y'all know your girl is a correspondent for swagher.net magazine. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a businesswoman, if you are an author, a writer, if you are an actress, if you are a musician, if you have a CD, if you need a way to increase your visibility, swagher.net is the place to do that. They have several different packages depending on what you need for your business. But I'm going to go ahead and take care of some housekeeping items real quick, and I will be right back.
Swagher Magazine is an empowerment and lifestyle publication for Black women who like to be real with themselves and in business. The magazine also offers public relations services and visibility coaching for Black women-led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they receive more exposure and grow their brands. To learn more about Swagher Magazine, please visit www.swagher.net. That's www.swagher.net. Check our swag. We're more than a mag.
Yeah, hop on over to the website and check it out. See what packages can help you increase your visibility. So we're going to go ahead and go forward. I want to use most of my time, but I do want to say during this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me earn money. We use our stars to hire more journalists and content creators while supporting Black-owned businesses to help to create an ecosystem that brings success for all involved. If you find value in our content, send your stars today and tell a friend about our page. Hey guys, you guys that are on, let me know. Let me know. You guys know my audience is just as much my special guest as my actual guest. So please feel free to ask any questions throughout the broadcast. I have some that I've given my guests. But then if you have some, I will try to work those in as well, okay? All right, let me go ahead and give me thumbs up. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready.
What's up, Hopgood?
Well, look, she said, you're going to give me thumbs up, and then she going to just, I'm like, oh, I'm there. Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, I can't hear you. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. Make sure I can hear you good. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfect.
Okay, cool. All right. What's up? You looking good as always.
Yeah, I figured if I'm going to come on your show and, I'm getting myself together because I'm going to be doing my podcast. So while I'm on my podcast, I want to be dressed and give people. So I'm going to be dressed on every one of my podcasts. You might see me doing a live. And I need to come from the gym or something. But when I'm doing my shit, I'm going to be in my, and I got on pants too. I'm not playing. We're not playing. We're not playing.
Well, I can't stand up. I can't stand up. I'm just playing, guys. I can, but I won't. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. It's been a minute, of course.
Yeah.
God, we go way back. He's helped me in the past, and he's helped quite a few of my friends. Just by me letting people know, oh, I'm interviewing her. He helped me out a few years ago. So that's good to hear. This is a sex story. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
Hello, under construction. My name is Charles L Hopgood II. I'm accredited financial consultant. I'm a restoration specialist. I'm also a certified and tested life coach. So when you come into the family of Infinity Financial Consultants, which started out as, I was in my office, and I found one of my original stainless steel business cards.
Wow.
And this was my name, my name of my business when I started out. It was Show Improved Credit Repair.
Wow. Okay.
And I changed it because I wanted to clean up the name. I started this business and probably one of the lowest points of my life. Right. I literally said, I'm going to start something. And when I started, because I was in the car business and I knew people needed it. So and I'm very passionate about it. So when I looked at it and I got to learn it and delved into it, I was like, yo, this could really change the landscape of the city. That's the first thing that came to my eyes. I said, then I thought about it. I said, man, I can really change my the lineage of my life. I mean, the car business life, it pays good money, but it will wear you down. You'll be in bad health, put you in a bad mental state, a bad space, and you're constantly being less than what God built you to be. And that's the next thing I said, I can have a better quality of life. When someone is bestowed a better quality of life, if they have any inkling of being a good person, it really just brings out the natural goodness in them and pushes them into that place where they become charitable and loving and kind, which is the things that God wanted us to be. So when I started this business, that saved me. It really saved me. That's
what's up. Do you mind me asking what was making your life low? What if that's too much?
Yeah, I was going through something. I was going through this relationship was ending in a certain way, and there was things transpiring with that. I was in the car business, and you know how the car business is. It's so weighed down, and the person that trained me, he's my mentor. We're still tight. I was at the low point, and I said, "Hey man, I need some help." And I didn't have any money. My credit score was a 384. And here I am, 40 plus years old. I've been making money forever, and I'm sleeping on the floor in a pallet, and a duplex. And I was just like, I had, with my TV leaned up against the wall. Like I said, that situation, I'm not gonna go into it because people get feeling out some type of way. So I don't want anyone to say that I built my life up on the backs of something else. So I'm gonna keep this all about me, and this is my success story of my life. Even though the trials and tribulations are one of the things that built me, it didn't define me. God already knew what my story was gonna be, and that's not me being cocky or arrogant. That's me being transparent and giving it to you like you need to get it.
That's it.
So in the midst of that, he saw my situation, went and researched and saw what I was going through, and he ended up helping me with one of my bureaus. He gave me a little bit of self-esteem back. So in the midst of that, I'm still working in the car business. And for my gratitude, I started sending him clients. I sent him so many. And one day I was having a really bad day at the dealership. And he said, "Hey, man, do you ever think about you want to do this?" He said, "Because you you can read credit better than I can." And that came from my background being in the finance department, reading credit. And he says, you read it better than I do. You ought to try to do this. And, I'm like, nah, again, because of our environment, sometimes we could just, I don't want to try nothing else. I want to keep doing this and stay stagnant.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to. And he says, okay, if you want to. So that I was having a real bad day at the dealership. I went home and I thought about it. I said, hey man, you know what? The only way I'm going to take control of my life and not have these people joystick me around is if I take a chance. I've been doing me longer than anybody else been doing me. So I know my limitations and my capabilities.
Right.
And I know what I can do. So I prayed about it. I went to a couple of my close friends. Both of them told me don't do it. We ended up falling out for 6 months after that. They gave me this bumbo jumbo. You know, when somebody grows up in a 2-parent home, they give you that Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable advice. You know what I'm saying? But then when your mom was old to open, you raised like this and you had to do all this. They can't give you that. They don't understand that the lineage of that teaching will catapult you to somewhere else if you have goodness. The nucleus has to be goodness.
That's good.
So I'm knowing it's going to work. So I had to develop deaf ears. And I said, you know what? I got to shut him out for a minute, because if I let him talk to me, I'm already going through a low point. I'm going to talk myself out of this.
That's
good.
That's a good point that you was able to just recognize the negativity and to just say, hey, we good, but I need you to keep my life for a couple of 6 months.
Absolutely. Because hey, again, I've been doing me longer than he's been. I've been doing me longer than he's been doing me. I sit there and I said, let me check these stripes. Last 2 lengths going to school, been in the Army, did this. Yeah, you got some stripes. You don't let a lieutenant tell a colonel what to do. So I took a chance on me. I bet on me.
Okay. I got some questions. So let me get to those. You're a financial consultant. You know the movie Brown Sugar.
Love it.
They asked the question, tell me when you fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah. So tell you when I fell in love with this?
You just told me, I guess. You did. You just told me.
Really and truly, I fell in love with hustle and having my own.
Uh-huh.
I was 13 years old.
Okay.
And I wanted my own. That was the moment I wanted my own. I was selling candy at school, making $50 a week. And as one of my mentors say, never tell a verifiable lie. So the people that I went to school with, Rico Smith, Tracy Tillman, Lindsay Hill, Chris Hill, they all on Facebook. They'll tell you I sold candy. I got it in, you know.
So you was the candy man.
Yes, Eisenhower Middle School. That's what it was.
Eisenhower, okay.
So I was selling $50. I had to get my curl done. I wanted me an eye. I wanted some capers. You know, that's what started it. And my little side money was when one of the hustlers would ask me how much this weighs and what it take to cut this up to make this. I would go over the numbers in my head. I'm in 7th, 8th grade. I know how to run street numbers, and they would give me $5 or $10. That's what catapulted my candy business. So that's when I fell in love with it.
Said me. So I guess she must have bought some candy from you. Curly
Who said? Oh, yeah.
What's up? Scale 1 to 10, which 10 being very knowledgeable and 1 being no information at all. Where do you think Black people as a whole are in regards to their money?
We as a culture are in the Mario Winans of life. We don't want to know. The only time we want to know is the only time we are forced to know. Okay, let me give you an example. When someone calls you on the phone and say, hey, Ron, I need to holler at you. I need to borrow something. First thing on your mind, you feeling a little bit of anxiety, right?
Right.
Right. Just like when in any other culture, hey, guess what? We're pregnant. Oh, it's amazing. In our culture, what are we going to do? It's always because we were raised and forged in trauma. Money has represented trauma to us because if I really want to go back to the times, we were listed in a ledger as property, which equated to money. A slave master wasn't really, his worth of who he was how many bales of cotton and how many Negras he had.
Right.
So that stigmatism has always been placed upon us. So when you have a household, all we knew is our father had a car and we got to school. We did the very best we could, but they're sitting at that kitchen table and it ain't always no food on it. And then you're trying to put these bills together. So I think that these traumas are passed down based upon the lineage of your household. If you grew up in a one-parent household, the one parent's going to teach you as best as they can. You're going to teach it to your child. And your child's going to teach it to their children. Hence why the big banks knows how the African-American dollar is spent. They already knew back from 1954, which is the art of selling to the Negro. And if you Google it, it's the art of selling to the Negro. It's something. If you Google that, it'll come up. It's a 1954 video. We'll talk about that later, though, because that unpacks a whole bunch of trauma. But in the midst of that, they can't teach us anything. So the banks, when they're figuring their bonuses for the year, if LaRhonda got 3 kids, 2.75 of her children are going to have bad credit. So they equate that in the money of their bills, what they're going to make the interest rate on that, and that's how they figured their bonuses. So it's always been placed upon us. Nobody wants to talk about it. That's what makes someone that looks like me, that has the passion like me, very valuable in our community. Not just because it's me doing it, but there's someone else that's just as knowledgeable as me. I'm very good. I dare say I'm probably one of the best in around the states area because the things I've developed. But I'm very good at what I do. I'm very passionate, so I don't listen. You can't sell me. You can't talk that talk, and I'm not gonna listen to it. And I might come off as brash, but the thing about it is I represent the new and improved you, and I'm not gonna let you, the old you, get in the way of our lives.
That's what's up.
I need the energy of your success, and I need you to go out there and perpetuate life. We need each other. I don't need the old you. So to answer your question, a lot of us are clueless. We only have a little bit of information, and it changes dramatically. And we don't do research. And that's our Achilles heel, and they know it.
What are some of the biggest mistakes we as Black people make financially, in your opinion?
We don't save money. We don't pay ourselves, which would be saving money. We don't have an understanding of credit. We will go out and try to purchase a vehicle, and you've seen, Rhonda, having the most horrible list of credit, and let them run our credit and put all these inquiries on our credit. And then next thing you know, you see on social media, won't he do it? And my God, and God made you to be loving and intelligent, and he created you to have a brain because you're smart. He didn't want you to go do that. Don't put that on God. Don't put that on God. I see that all the time. Don't be putting that on God. God is love. That is not love. Because they don't love you when they do that to you. They're trying, you have to set yourself up to be in the best possible situation. I tell people all the time, the money that you can pay to restore your credit is less than you're going to be paying on the interest on this. And it's connected to so many other things than just something material.
Right. That's right. What do we as Black people put too much money into, you think?
Okay, so this is cute. I have to laugh at it because when I say this, someone will say, "But look at you."
I know.
Walking cliche. Well, I'm gonna be like your mama. Do as I say, not as I do. No, listen. I'm gonna give you guys a secret. We put too much on trendy stuff and clothes and jewelry and stuff. And you'll say, well, Charles, every time I see you, I'm gonna give you a secret. I keep everything in my closet for 11 months. Then I sell it on like Tradesy. The words have changed. The name has changed of Tradesy, but I sell it on that. And then I recycle it with something else new. So everything in my closet, I resell it. Sometimes I make more money than what I pay. Okay. So I recycle. Yeah, I keep my wardrobe recycled. I'm a very good internet surfer. Jewelry, I trade certain pieces in, like my customs. I can't trade them in, but a lot of times I've traded, trade the next watch or the next bracelet or something, and I'll get a good deal and I'll keep going. That's what you do. That's what you do. And based upon what I do for a living, I have to present myself in a manner that is commensurate with who I am and what I do. I gotta walk it like I talk it. There can't be no capping, especially with some level of the clients that I do have. They'll make you pull out the score in a minute. Every now and then they'll try you. Oh, they'll try you. We have score wars, but in the midst of that, that's our biggest deal. There's nothing wrong with having something fine and nice, but take care of your business. Pay yourself. Don't put yourself in a bad situation where you went and got a car. You have all these inquiries. You can't get out of it, but you want to look good for the Joneses. The Joneses don't love you. The Joneses not going to be there when you're trying to sit at the kitchen table trying to figure it out, especially the way that America is yoked now, because there's a lot of single women out there trying to present themselves in the best light, the best manner, if you will, to garner a husband or a boyfriend, somebody to help them. But they're spending their savings and not getting themselves level. And they're getting older and older, and they don't have anything to offer. They come to the table with an appetite. And an affluent man who's put himself together, he don't want somebody with just an appetite now. Like for me, for instance, if I'm dating, the first thing you're gonna get your credit right. So I'm gonna leave you better than I found you, because I need your mind clear.
It's why I think just for that. Now I have audience question: if you've helped restore someone's credit in the past and they messed up, do you retake them in as a client?
The penalty is very steep. Unless it's something that they could absolutely not help. And they can tell me whatever, but I can read it in the credit exactly what went down. That's how precise I've gotten with it. So if it's something that absolutely was beyond their control, of course I have empathy. I have empathy for everyone, regardless of the way I can lace words or how quickly I talk or how stern I may be. I have empathy. I'm a child of God, and I grew up poor with nothing. But if you're trying to snow me, I'm not going to, don't get mad because I won't let you snow me. I'm smart. I better be smart. I'm handling some serious stuff.
That's right.
But if you're playing around and faking and jaking and there's no, you don't have a reason for it, I'm not trying to be your father, but if you're going to hire me, it's going to be steep because my motto is, I want to fix you so I'll never see you again.
That's good.
And people say, well, that's kind of rude. I said, man, if I'm seeing you, that means I didn't do my job correctly. I didn't place on you the emphasis to be able to fish and do the right things with your credit.
Right.
So
that's
yeah,
good.
The penalty's steep. I'll take you again, but the penalty's steep.
Good. All right. And what do you on the flip side of that other question? What do we put too much money? Let's see. What do we not put enough money into?
Life insurance, CDs, investing in stock, investing in the block that we live in, buying land, purchasing land, oral health, mental health, physical health. You know, we'll get a booty done and we'll get our teeth done, but we won't go see what's wrong, why our teeth are doing what they're doing. And we won't get our body looked at. But we'll get a booty job. You know, we need to, health is wealth. I mean, I'm 53 and for the grace of God, people say I don't look my age. I think God he just loved me because I know I eat a tremendous amount of candy. I got to do better. But
we all have our little I know I snack.
I lay up when I was in my heaviest because now I do eat a lot of candy, but I work out. But when I was my heaviest, I used to lay up with women every night. Duncan Hines, Mrs. Butterworth, Mrs. Beard, Little Debbie. I was slutty. Oh, I was having threesomes and foursomes.
What?
Duncan Hines, Mrs. Butterworth, Mrs. Beard, Sarah Lee. And all of them knew about each other.
He said he was like threes and fours. So, okay, here's one. Came in student loan debt. Is it worth it?
It just depends. I have higher education. I had some student loan debt when I first went to college before I went back. It depends on what you're going to do. Don't go in there like some of the kids we went to school with and just went to get a student loan or a loan so they can get some jabot or some polo boots. Don't screw off the money. Go to school and handle business. I got clients right now who have children in school right now. They had to get student loan, but their children are going to strive to be great. They're going to do something with that degree. So yeah, if you can pay for it with cash, God bless you. But if you can't, pay your student loan. I mean, it's one of the biggest Achilles heel for us as far as a creditor, next to child support. And that
was my next question. How does student loan affect us? How does student loan debt affect us, really?
Well, it just depends based upon what the money that we make. We have, like I said, we have an anxiety with the level of coin that we make. In Oklahoma is a very inexpensive place to live, but they don't pay the wages like they should based upon the skill set of a lot of our culture and a lot of people there. So you kind of got to, keep your head above water, making away when you can. And in the midst of that, you can become mundane and weighed down. So the student loan, you look at the student loan like, damn, I'm in school. I went to school and didn't even get my degree, and I got this damn student loan. It will creep up on you. It'll be like the bad girlfriend or boyfriend, and then you will neglect it, and you'll put yourself in a even deeper credit paradox. Because mental health is real.
So on social media, I can see that you've had a lot of fun and know a lot of people. What is one of the most interesting things that has happened while maneuvering around the entertainment business?
Besides the Jay-Z shout out, that wasn't interesting. That was just me in the right place.
You said what about Jay-Z?
It was a shout out. It was in Oklahoma City. It wasn't a big deal. I was in the second row and he saw me what I was wearing. He said what I was wearing was fresh and we were having a conversation. and
Oh,
then it
that's
got on
what's
the jumbotron. Yeah, it was.
okay.
That was a big deal. I'm a Jay fan, and then another time
Yeah,
I was
me
at a
too.
concert, and he saluted me. I saluted him back. Yeah, I'm a Jay fan. That reasonable doubt, that reasonable doubt saved my life. But let me think.
Say that. A lot
Because
of
it's
guys
not
say that.
because it's not so much about the celebrity and just what they do for. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, classic example. I love this individual. He's got multiple Grammys, multiple American Music Awards. Still can blow now. Still touring. He's an icon. Sings with his family. He's an icon. Um, I'm not gonna go any deeper. When he called me one night, and I was helping him get his stuff leveled back from his manager, and he says, "You know what? Dealing with you and you having setting up my stuff, man, I feel more like a man. I feel like a responsible adult again, and I can't tell you how much I owe you that. That shit touched me because I mean I'm literally used to sing his songs in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's when I realized, hey, this is hitting different. It's so much better than, like I tell some of my younger clients, I want to ride fresh for the summer. That's not what it's about. This is literally a life shift. And it was in that moment that I had to sit and be quiet in a corner. And I was grabbing myself. I said, man, you know what? This is what it is. This is what I want. This is what I want for my legacy to be. Moments like that.
Right.
So
Right.
it'll keep you, it'll hold you accountable for everything. You know, in the midst of the world that we're in, we hear so much hearsay and backbiting and sneak dissing. You still have to be in a room by yourself and look in the mirror. And the
Right.
person that you stroked the pen and started writing the letters of your life, you can't write it with malice. You can't write it with yeast. You have to write it with the blood of what you're supposed to be doing out here. And those are the moments that are going to keep you writing. So that was probably one of the most humbling moments I've ever had.
Yeah, that's okay. I got another question. What's the minimum credit score needed to purchase a home?
They have programs now. It's fluctuating, but this is what I tell my culture. We always come in saying that we want the minimum. When you come in with the minimum, they're going to give you the maximum amount of disrespect, the maximum amount they're going to try to make money off you, the maximum amount where they're going to keep you in this home. You're not going to be able to move around in the manner that you should based upon your mindset, the money that you make, and your family. It will cause you a divide. So I know one program that says 580. When I hear a person say, well, I ain't got to be but a 580, they don't understand it's not so much as a score, it's the cleanliness of the score. See, you can be a woman or a man. You can be a man, like I want a man. Well, here go a man with one leg eating a chicken bone with nothing on. There's your man. That's what you wanted, right? No, they got to come into it a certain demeanor and a certain je ne sais quoi that you like in order to fit your criteria. It's not just about a credit score. It's about the cleanliness. How many accounts do you have? How you bolded with those accounts? What are they and how long they've been open? And people say, well, all the time, well, I got a 700 score and I can't buy anything because you don't have the length of your credit agreements are very short. So it's kind of like if you're going to a beauty shop, you're not gonna let somebody just got out of beauty school do your hair. You want Sookie who been doing her and do your mama's hair and your grandma's hair. You want, and so you got to think about the bank. You know, I used to fight with myself so much. I'd be like, a beeper bill. Remember, beeper bill was like $50, right? If you had the alphanumeric, and I would be late. And I said, well, y'all got y'all money. I mean, I was a couple weeks late, but you got it. A bank says, Charles, if I can't get you to pay me the $50, how can I trust you to pay me 50,000 or 50 or 500?
Right.
I can't trust you. You can't even handle this small amount, a window of me trying to get a lineage of what kind of person you are. So if I want to do business with you or not. And that's the thing that we don't get through our heads. And then we call it, then the money, then it becomes a cent. It becomes scented, the funky $50. That's not what it's about. And that's the stigmatism it gets us. You know it. You said it too. I've said it. You tripping off the funky $50? Really?
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to take yourself. You have to take yourself out of the skin of you gotta get out your feelings and put yourself. You gotta think like a banker.
That's right. That's so true.
So if I was getting a home and the program score is 580, I would tell you as a consultant, you need to come in there with a 650 because your score is gonna drop. As soon as you buy the home, it's gonna drop anywhere from 25 to 35 points based upon the time of the year you buy, how much money you spend, and the healthiness and the healthy and the and how deep your credit report is. So that way you can level back up.
You come in with that 580, and it's gonna go down another 35 points. Lord.
Or more. One thing about it, this credit scores, when it's already low, they kick you even lower. Like, oh, she ain't gonna do nothing. They a bully. When you get to a certain score, if you fart loud, they're gonna put a neck on. They're gonna put you down. You're gonna get back. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. That's how they feel. That's how it is, really. So that's why you got to keep it at level.
What is it? Is it better to do the credit repair or file bankruptcy?
It depends on your situation. Bankruptcy eliminates you from having the responsibility of repaying the debt. Credit restoration challenges the debt using the laws of the Fair Credit Act, Section 609, 608, 618, 621 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And if they're not following the letter of the law, then by law they have to remove the account. Hence, removing the account, rescoring and reshuffling your credit report and credit score gives it the appearance to be more favorable. So, but when you file a bankruptcy, the bankruptcy is there, and everything in it is there. They're not garnishing you or anything. It just depends based upon what your timeline asks for, what you're trying to do. Because if you file a bankruptcy, you can't get a house for 2 years. Okay. Most times, somebody just need to clean the credit up so they can make a move. Cleaning your credit up is going to allow you to have a favorable insurance rate versus your renting or auto. It's going to also garner you favorable in wherever you're working at, because they do background checks. I mean, they do a background check for McDonald's now. So you just want to stay level, but it just depends on what your life needs at that moment. So, but credit restoration, at least my system, is cheaper than bankruptcy.
And what is that price range?
It just depends on the level of work. I do a consultation. The money sits in an escrow account, and we do the work. It just depends. It's a consultation because there's part of the fee is broken down in the consultation, but gotcha. I run specials sometimes. It just depends. I really like virgin files more than anything. That's files that haven't been through credit restoration, because I get to shape the live and teach them a different way so that they don't ruin it. When someone's been through, like I said, I charge them a bigger fee because it's so much work. It's a lot more work. I really have to get into my books to help them. It's just a lot of work. So, if you just have a few things on your credit and you're pressed for a little cash and you're trying to do the right thing, I can't legally give you advice because I'm not a lawyer. I would just say weigh your situation out versus how much it costs versus what you're trying to do, and make the best decision for you and your family.
That's good. What's the best? I'm switching from business to just personal. Big Bro Hopgood. We appreciate you answering those questions. But let's talk about old Hopgoody Good. That's my nickname that I have in my head.
All right. Okay.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about you?
I'm so glad you asked that. Okay. So I'm here on your show, and I'm in business attire. Every piece of whatever I have on costs whatever it costs. The misconception is that I go around saying what I got, how much it costs, what I make. I've never, ever told anyone what I make. I say I make a good living, because I think that's disrespectful, because in the midst of people not figuring out where their footing is, I'd be a dirty person to say I make this amount. Bottom line. But a lot of people clearly count my money for me. They see what I drive or see the people I'm around. They see what I'm wearing. They count my money for me. By me just giving you what I just gave you, which is an educated answer that was thorough and detailed, I talk too much. I'm arrogant. I'm cocky. I'm narcissistic. This is my career. If I'm not passionate about it, knowledgeable about it, presenting myself in the manner that is in resemblance to what I do and who I'm around and how I move, then what am I doing out here? I grew up extremely poor in Boley, Oklahoma, borrowing clothes, using Crystal Magic. I think it's Crystal Magic liquid soap to wash my clothes. Leaving them on the heater, making sure they stay on there long enough so the next day. One of the most embarrassing moments was in that 9th grade. I'd washed my clothes out the night before and I waited too late. So it wasn't all the way dry when I got up in the morning. And this is before I moved to Boley. This is why, because I was in Boley in Oklahoma. I was back and forth from Eisenhower to Rogers. I told you the other day, I think it was really 12. I went to 12 grade schools.
Yeah.
12 grade schools, high schools, and middle schools. So I never got really a chance to make any friends anyway. So there's this girl I liked, and I think at the time I was going to Northwest Classing. Shout out to Mark Calderon, because he sat behind me. He laughed at me when it happened. So I was liking this girl, and my pants, I had these Lee jeans. They rubbed up against her, and they were still kind of damp. And she said, did you not dry your clothes good? And loud, everybody in the class.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was clowned. And I received a lot of that. So yeah, I've had the misconception is that I think I'm all that and I'm all these things. First and foremost, I'm just knowledgeable about what I'm gonna do, because when you come to me, it's business, and I'm not gonna let your foolishness mess up the business, because one thing you won't do is take the responsibility that, hey, I didn't do this right. You'll sneak this. I catch so much sneak this, so much misconception. There's things that I've heard about myself that I'm even shocked. Like, damn, I wouldn't even fuck with me. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Whoa, wait a minute, that ain't true. I'm looking in the mirror. I heard something about you. Hey, I heard something about you. When I'm looking in the mirror at myself, like, what we do? But you hear it all the time, and you have to really, a lot of people say, why you care about what people say? I got to care about what everybody say. I'm a brand. So when you see me on Facebook posting, it's not Charles Hopgood posting. It's Infinity Financial Consultants, because this is me and this is who I am. This is what I represent. And that's all I know. And that's all I'm going to know, because that's what I dedicate my life to. So the misconception is I'm cocky or arrogant. I'm not approachable. I'm an asshole. I talk too much. Everything negative, instead of the lives that I perpetuate, the people's lives I touch it so they can be able to pay their bills, or some people who couldn't have children that were able to do in vitro because I got their credit right. I had Grammy nominated, Emmy award winners, people that we've watched on TV and listened to our music, and we play the music at our weddings. We've made love to their music. Their music has just got us through the day. And these people I've been able to weave in their lives and do good things. And that's where my energy is. So I think a lot of people can't find the source of their energy. So the first thing out of their mouth is negativity, and it hurts. It hurts them, not too much as me, because I expect it. But I have to work double hard sometimes, and I really shouldn't have to. I mean, I'm going on 12 years, and I still have people say, well, how do I know you're going to do what you say?
How do you cope with that, though? Like, seriously, like, that would be, how do you cope with that? With people always putting their mouth on your name? Because that would be stressful.
It's hard, man. So now, because like right now I'm doing an exodus. I'm doing an extreme exodus. And when I say that, I'm removing and eliminating things. I'm doing a pruning of my life with a lot of people, because it's getting ready to go to another echelon. So I'm getting ready to prune my life. So some people that I've given front row seats to, that I didn't know they were saying things, or just because I love you. I said something to my younger brother the other day. We went through a trial and tribulation where we weren't speaking. And I had to tell him, I said, man, when you were sitting there allowing people to put their mouth on me, that gave them the green light to do those things, because you were mad at me about something that was wrong. I said, people are going to look for chinks in your armor. And when you don't give them something, they'll start manufacturing it. That's right. So I told him, I said, man, I've loved so many people that hate me. And I said something like, I said, I'm disliked by a lot of people, and I don't know none of their names, but they all know mine. So in the midst of that, when in the truth to that, receded truth, I still have to say, but you have a mother and you have a father, and you are the combination of both of them you have a responsibility to this business, to this brand, and the people that believe and love in you. So what you got to do is keep on keeping on. You know, every now and then I might have a little time because I'm surgical with the words sometimes. And then what kills me about that is when I do reach back and say something, it's always about why you respond to these people. Because our culture is so mundane, why don't you say, well, why are you talking to him? Instead of attacking, because yeah, I'm trying to stay level. I heard it's too much. It's a lot. Right. And then I told somebody, they'll say something like, well, I don't like the way you post. Well, you know, there's a delete button.
Right.
You know,
so, know what, on your post, a lot of your posts are really vulnerable. I be like, he be really talking to us about some real stuff. And so it's so different from like I can tell you with our conversation on Sunday, I was totally.
Oh yeah, we really had a good conversation.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. Like I left that conversation, I was like, I feel like I know him so much better now instead of, you know, what I've heard. Because I mean, we work business-wise. You're a businessman, you know, you're a businessman. But as far as like one-on-one, personal, you hear the, you know, you hear the hype. But you are awesome. You are awesome. I just want you to know that. After just hearing your story, and like I told you, I know you said I was listening from a mother's heart, and it might be my Christian background, but I just know when people know your story, that I mean, if you got some good sense, then you can kind of have a little bit more grace towards people and kind of understand where they come from. I love the fact that you came from where you came from and who you are today, because like I told you on Sunday, you're somebody my son can say, hey, I can come from humble beginnings, but I can, you know, you're not coming from humble beginnings, and look what this guy did. So you should be able to get your butt up and do the work that's necessary. So I appreciate it. Everything that you're doing, how good. So let the haters hate, and you just be led by.
But I love them because I want them. No. Listen. Let me be frank.
Okay.
I love the haters. You know why? I just want them to find the strength of what's making them do that, and find the nucleus of it and be better. Listen, we can be so much better to one another. It costs you nothing to be kind to somebody, but it will cost you everything if you don't. If you know you're not a good person, don't put your mouth on somebody else. They just trying to make it. You know, you asked me where's the source of my strength. I'm going to show you something. And this ain't scripted. Y'all got to forgive me. My chair is jacked up. So you can't see it, but this is a letter to this. This lady's homeless. And I had this since 2012. And it says, forgive me, I need to get some glasses. It says, you have, Lord, my eyes. You have no idea how much you have done for me. When I was talking to you, I had to really, like you told me, develop deaf ears and take responsibility for what I had to do in the midst of what I was going through, and to create my excuse-free life. In the midst of me doing that, I found the depths of myself, and I would never have been here if it wasn't for you. Today, I write this letter sitting in my empty apartment with no furniture, but it's my first apartment I've had in 12 years. Wow. And I appreciate you, and it's XX, all the love. So when I get heavy or whatever, I look to the left, there's Ali. I look to the right, there's Ali, and then there's that picture, and then there's a picture of my mother. So I have to literally know that this is what I'm here for. And that's the truth. That's the God's truth.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you for participating. I got one more thing that I do. It's called the No Judgment Zone. So no matter how you answer it, no one's gonna judge you. Don't worry. It's not gonna be crazy. It's not gonna be crazy. We're talking about for the questions. What type of money would you rather have? Is the question. Okay. Jaleel White, Urkel money, or Ray J money?
Ray J paid, And Jaleel is too. Jaleel got some weed farms that's doing it right now. I mean, he got the Irk and Jerk. He got the Irk and Jerk weed products. He's killing it, man. Both of them. And Ray J got those Raycon ear thing. Man, that's hard to say. Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard question. Shit.
You gotta pick one.
I'll pick Urkel money because yeah, I'll pick Urkel money all day. Yeah.
Scott money or Shawnee O'Neal Henderson money?
You said who?
Mona Scott or Shawnee O'Neal Henderson money?
Shawnee O'Neal Henderson. She got investments.
Shawnee O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Kanye money or Diddy money?
Diddy.
Babyface money or Teddy Riley money?
Definitely Babyface.
Rihanna money, Oprah money?
Oprah.
That's it. That wasn't hard, see?
I wasn't hard. But you know what? But you know what the common thread is with all that you said?
What?
Black people figuring it out and going out there and getting their bag and developing deaf ears, because each and every person that you named was criticized. Either they talked too much, or they were either talked too much, or they was too fat, or nobody's gonna pay to see reggae, or you an idiot, or you Brandy's brother. Every one of them had been talked down to in our community, and then all of them made something out of themselves. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad I was in that category. I feel honored.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome. Thank you so much again for stopping by. I appreciate it. I do want to ask if we can talk about it just for a little bit. You said you have a podcast. Is that the recipe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's called The Recipe. I set up the page years ago, but I felt like I wasn't versed enough and I hadn't done enough to be able to come in y'all and talk to y'all about anything. Yeah, I got through some stuff. Yeah, I started a business. Yeah, I know this celebrity, I know that celebrity. I said, no, I need to know where I can lace my words and where they understand. And I refuse to script anything. I speak from the spirit. And I wasn't ready. So I set it up, got all gung-ho about it when I said it myself, I ain't ready. But I never canceled the page. But now with me doing the Exodus and the other parts of my life, that's going to free up energy for me to really grow in this and what I'm supposed to do. And I'm starting different parts, different facets of my business. My business is going to change beginning of the year. A lot of things are going to change. Got some moving parts right now that are really amazing when they come to fruition. So the podcast is going to be about full circle, man. It's going to be a lot of transparency about my life. Because one thing's for certain, two things for sure, I don't have to lie about nothing. And the one thing I do is how I'm gonna teach you something if I'm not telling you nothing. So we're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about men doing the right things and quit raising these killers or quit causing these killers in the streets. And they said, well, what's that mean? It's an example of treating a woman wrong, and she feel like she got to give you all this food and all her loving, and the kids watching. And when they grow up, they're gonna do the same thing to another woman. They're gonna kill the spirit of another woman. So we're gonna talk about taking responsibility for the things you put out there and quit throwing rocks behind parked cars. If you can write it, if you can say it, stand on it. Don't half stand on it. Don't hop on it. Stand on it. Because you'll find another strength within yourself. If you're honest and true with yourself, that's how you really find your way out of anything. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about daily events, and we're going to be goofy. It's gonna be a bunch of everything.
I can't wait to listen.
It's barbershop talk. It's somewhat barbershop talk, but it's gonna be, you need to have your pen, your pad, because I'm gonna drop nuggets. So
barbershop talk is always some good conversation.
Absolutely.
So that sounds good.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I
did a barbershop talk show like a few months ago. It was men against women type conversation. It was really, really good. So yeah, that sounds great. All right. Well, congratulations on all the success and everything. Ladies, I did find out that Hopgood is single. So understand that he may run your credit before y'all go, too far. So, but he did.
But respectfully, what I do, if it's somebody I'm dating, I said, never feel less than who you are, and I start off with what I went through. I don't ever want to feel like I'm superior to them and they got to be beholding to me.
Right.
Because I need your head clear. So if we try to make these moves, I need your head clear. Don't be thinking about, I got this, I'm wearing this, and you got to do this, you got to do that. I want your head clear so we can make these moves, make these trips, make this money. So I'm going to relieve you of that stress. And I don't want you feeling less than who you are. I want you to understand that somebody's trying to take you to a different place. And I don't want this to be the thing that don't have us blossom. So when I do approach you, I'm going to approach you in a respectful manner, because I mean, how can I be disrespectful if I'm laying next to you? If I'm asking you to make love to me, if I'm asking you to share the purest form of anything with me, and I'm being disrespectful or being cocky and arrogant, all the other soliloquies that somebody tries to place on me. So understand if we're dating.
He's a Scorpio, so I want to give y'all that fine print. I'm gonna give y'all
Listen,
that fine
I'm not gonna let you listen. I cannot confirm or deny the level of freakiness that goes on.
I see what I'm saying.
But there's been rumors of champagne dousings. I heard someone per se, but yeah, it's never an easy conversation when you talk about commerce. But once you get level, it's the best conversation you two can ever have, because it's a building thing. So
that's right. That's right. Well, as always, it's so good. I'm gonna be hitting you up, because, like I said, I did enjoy our conversation, so I'll be hitting you up.
I respect that.
Congratulations on everything, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. I'm supposed to take this suit off and get back in my bathrobe. Send me the link. Send me the link to this.
Don't act like the old man.
Yeah. Hey, listen. That's why I got every channel. Every channel.
All right.
I got Netflix, Tubi, everything. That's what it is.
I'll holler.
All right. Send me the link. Thank you for having me.
I sure will.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the broadcast today. Hip Hop Good up, Hop Goody Good. Hit him up. I've got all his information, his contact information right below my screen. He helped me out. He's helped quite a few of my friends out. Like, I was like, oh, really? I didn't know. And so he has done great with tremendous things for our credit. And so if you don't want to do the bankruptcy route, check out Hopgood. Look at his website, look at his Facebook page, his Instagram page, and I believe I have his email address also, where you can contact him. He's definitely a good person to have in your corner when it comes to, like, you could just tell he's very knowledgeable. You can tell he's very knowledgeable. So please jot that information down. And reach out to old Hop Goody Good. All right. Well, guys, next week I'll be back with another great conversation. I think it'll be. I'm trying to finalize it, but if not, it might just be myself. It may be the next week, but I'm trying to finalize that guest. I'm always excited. Y'all know I'm always excited, but I have a couple of people coming up. So we have. I'm going to be talking about relationships. So I do have a couple that's coming. The houses, it'll be David and Sheila House. They'll be coming in a couple of weeks, and they gave me exact instructions. That's the first time that's happened on my show. I get instructions, but I do want their thoughts on relationships. So I'm excited about that, and so. Got a couple of conversations coming down the line that you just don't want to miss. So just tune in every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on LaRhonda Marie's Facebook page, as well as swagher.net, both their Facebook and YouTube channel. You guys have a blessed night.